what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. So where should we go next? Let's do I want to hear this Joel Klatt audio that you got for me, Taylor. Joel Klatt released his post-spring top 25. I believe he had LSU at 7, Clemson 5, so.
Yeah, 247 did
guys,
theirs. They had
incredible.
Clemson at 4, LSU at 9. Yeah.
Yeah, again, going to be an incredible matchup. But do I need to keep vamping? Can we play the clip? Oh, okay, cool. Here's Joel Klatt talking about Garrett Nussmeier.
Garrett Nussmeier is going to be one of the top picks in the NFL draft. I believe in him. Second year as a starter, 5th in the program. He sat behind Jaden Daniels. He's seen it done at a high level.
You know what's funny about that? First off, and we can listen to it again because it's very short, but I got distracted because have you noticed that a lot of people just fall into Mel Kiper rhythm?
That sounded just like Mel. That was my exact thought.
Hold on. Play it again. Let me close my eyes because I think I was looking at his picture. I wasn't really paying attention.
Not his
right.
voice sound, but the rhythm.
Though.
Listen to the rhythm.
Garrett Nussmeier is going to be one of the top picks in the NFL draft. I believe in him. Second year as a starter, 5th in the program. He sat behind Jaden Daniels. He's seen it done at a high level.
It's like I was listening to Moose the other day, and he was hitting the same rhythm, and it's a good rhythm, and it's a solo rhythm, and it makes a lot of sense. Like, I mean, when you're up there alone, you have to pace, you have to rise and flow. But Moose was talking about receivers, talking about Olave, talking about a lot of the sizes were similar. There's some options out there, but this option belongs here. Keenan Allen, big receiver, blah blah.
The Saints are making
Shout out Mel. I mean, is Mel even the originator of that rhythm, or did he crib it from somebody else? I don't know.
First one I've heard.
I feel like he is.
But anyway, as Joel was saying, Garrett Nussmeier, exciting prospect, second-year quarterback with some growing pains last year, got better towards the end, love seeing him make it through that adversity. Got to be one of the top quarterbacks on my board coming up this year. In all seriousness, look,
We have more sound if you want to hear it.
On Garrett?
I'm on LSU.
Okay, yeah. Give it to me.
All right, so
Let's talk about what worried him about LSU also.
Okay, yeah, give it to me.
Oh, God.
The only thing working against them, in my estimation, is that, I think Brian's going to have to take a team above what he has ever taken a team. And then their schedule is tough. So they missed Georgia and Texas, but they've got a season opener on the road against Clemson. Don't love that game for them. They've got to get South Carolina, Florida, and A&M. Those are at home. And then they play Alabama on the road, Ole Miss on the road, Oklahoma on the road.
Ooh, that's a tough boy. I don't think did we play the combined record of opponents game on this program?
No.
Yeah, LSU unfortunately is in that harder half.
Right, but can I also say something?
Yeah, say it.
If you're in the Big Ten and you're in the SEC, ish is going to be hard.
True.
It's going to be hard.
True.
Some have it a little bit better than others.
True.
But it's going to be hard. There's not when you play in one of those two conferences now with the teams that they've added, who they already had, very rarely are you going to be like, I feel pretty good about this. It's just, if you want to be with the big boys, you want to get all the revenue,
nut up.
That is what it's going to be. Now, you have a Clemson game, which you don't have to have, but LSU has shown.
I'm glad you do, though.
LSU has shown since we played, in between then, now, they are going to have those games. That's how it's going to be. So I know that Clemson adds to it, but this was you go back to when the SEC was 12 teams. This happened. It was going to be a 3-game stretch that was hell.
Yeah.
Hell every time. And now that's going to be every single year. We could come up here and we could talk about it all the time.
Sure.
But every single year it is going to be they have a difficult schedule. They have that is what Ohio State goes through it. Michigan goes through it. I'm talking about in conference play. Alabama, South Carolina. I mean, God bless Oklahoma's schedule this year.
I know.
But if you want to be a big boy, you want to get all the revenue, all the, hey, they're in the SEC, so when it comes playoff time, we got to remember that. Well, you got to go through the gauntlet.
T-Pal says, why is no one saying Clemson has a tough opener? Well, you got to understand. This is a little bit of just the fact that our perspective is covering it from LSU's perspective. I'm sure if you were listening to Clemson radio, they'd be saying the same thing about them having a tough opener. I think a couple differences, though, are A, Clemson proved last year you can make it up in the ACC.
Yep.
It's a way more winnable conference. And secondly, they're at home. So it is harder for LSU. But yes, I'm sure if you were listening to Clemson radio, they'd be talking about the tough opener.
I mean, LSU's also been awful in openers, too. Like,
lost 5 straight.
Yeah, let's not glance over that. Like, they haven't been good in openers.
2 of my children have never seen LSU win an opener.
I only have 1, but yeah.
Sad.
Still.
Sad.
So, but like, okay, I pulled up Oklahoma's schedule, all right? They got Michigan in the 9 conference, all right?
Yeah.
Then they've got and then they've got Auburn, okay? And that's September 20th. So, in their first 5 games, it's manageable. You got Illinois State, Michigan, Temple, Auburn, Kent State. Okay, you can win 4 of those games. But then you got Texas and Dallas. You're at South Carolina, Willie B, probably at night. All right. Then you go Ole Miss, and then you're at Tennessee, and then you're at Alabama, and then you got Missouri and LSU. All right. So for a 4, let's go 5-game stretch. They've got Texas, at South Carolina, Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Alabama.
Now, to be clear,
that is what it is now.
Yeah, Oklahoma has the toughest schedule too. I think outside of like the only ones that have better ones or harder ones are Arkansas, Kentucky, and Mississippi State, and part of that is because they can't play themselves. So that kind of changes the math a little bit. So let's get back to Nussler real quick. Are we putting too much on Nussmeier? Because I don't think so. Aaron doesn't think so. And we talked to Jake about it. I was talking to somebody the other day though, who was maybe who said it was Big West neighbors. I was on with Big West, and he was saying that he was a little unimpressed with Nussmeier last year. He thought he made too many mistakes. Now I said, well, look, I think he was asked to do too much last year.
I would love to have that debate with Wes, and I love Wes. He's an old school, gritty football player, but he was better than Jalen Milroe last year.
Yeah, well, and I don't think he said that, to be fair. I don't think he said that. I just think he thinks that maybe Nuss is being a little overrated coming into the season.
See, to me, that's wild behavior for a couple of reasons. One, I just don't think that the tape says that. Now, there was a 3-game stretch where he didn't play as well as he did the rest of the season. Yeah. That's fair to say. But then he came back. And then in the bowl game, right, when all his partners were watching on the sideline, and he had the bomb squad in front of him, he still found ways to make plays. It was just to new people, right? And so the jump from year 1 to year 2 alone should get LSU fans highly excited. And let's don't even compare it to jumps from LSU quarterbacks. Let's don't do the Burrow and Daniels thing. I'm talking about it in football.
Yeah.
At every level.
Yeah.
Every level. Year 1 to year 2, you go up. He's got a better receiver room this year than he had last year. Now, he doesn't have Mason Taylor. That's a big weapon, one he trusted more than anybody. The offensive line looks different. But if we're talking about just the receiver room, it's better this year, I think, from top to bottom than it was a year ago. So I thought he was really good last year. Sure, 3-game stretch where he wasn't as good as he was the rest of the year. But when he came back, he finished the year strong against Oklahoma, against Baylor. And then you put it all together with him having a full year. You add more receivers. You give him a couple tight ends. I'm not going to put anybody ahead of him. I'll put some on the same level, but I ain't putting anybody ahead of him.
Yeah, and again, you got to remember, in a first year starting, everything you experience is new. And so going through that downswing was new. And it would have been real easy for him to stall out and stay there. And yet he found a way to right the ship and get back on track. And I think that is huge in terms of learning lesson. This is a good point by Brett. He says in October 2018, Burrow didn't have a single touchdown pass. So, you got to grow. You got to learn these things. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.